I'm a 10th grader at ISU, the International School of Ulaanbaatar, and I am a third culture kid. Now, while some people may know what a third culture kid is, I'm going to briefly explain what it is so that everyone is on the same page. It will also make the rest of my talk much more clear. A third culture kid, or TCK for short, is a person who grew up in multiple cultures which were not their own. So 3 or more different cultures equals a third culture kid. For me personally, I was born in Alaska, USA in 2006, moved to Norway in 2008 when I was 2, moved to Zimbabwe 2012 when I was 5, and moved lastly to Mongolia in 2019 when I was 13. There are many psychological benefits of growing up with your extended family that third culture kids do not get to the full extent. You get moral support from family members if you are processing a traumatic loss, going through a hard time in school, or even something as losing a family pet. You get childcare if your parents are busy or need a date night, which can be beneficial not only to the child but the parents' relationship with each other as well. You can learn life lessons from older generations, mistakes they've made, memories they have, and even historical events that they may have lived through. Spending holiday celebrations with family as a young child teaches them the importance of family and strengthens the bonds of family, as well as creates happy memory as a child, important for their confidence, self-esteem, and mental well-being as they are growing up. Having family members you trust while growing up is important if you need someone to confide in, if you are in trouble, or just need someone to talk to that you know will be there for you. All of these psychological benefits, moral support, childcare, life lessons, holiday memories, someone to confide in, third culture kids miss out on. For me personally, I lived my first 2 years in Alaska, and so while I did have extended family members living there with me, I cannot remember any of it, and therefore missed out on many of the benefits. I do not remember any of the family holidays, even though I am in the pictures. I do not remember my grandparents being there to babysit me, and I do not have any memories of my life in Alaska. Now, my life in Alaska was short, as when I was 2, I moved to Norway with the only 2 people I was related to by blood was my mom and my dad. I can only remember small parts of my life in Norway, small parts of my childhood there. I remember that my family came to visit during most holidays, and that I enjoyed them being there. I remember my mom and dad being loving and caring towards me, and that I was happy there. I had a good network of support in Norway, even though I left when I was 5. My parents made friends with people that they're still friends with, and we see every summer. We even bought land with them in Michigan a couple of years back. So while these people may not have been blood related, they seemed like family. They felt like my aunts and uncles, and people who I could trust no matter what, and they would support me no matter what. In Norway, I did have a family. Not blood related, but they gave me everything a family would. They would watch me if my parents couldn't. We spent holidays together if my family could not make it, and they would tell me memories of when they were a kid, and I would go to them if I was having a bad day and my parents were not around. They are still in my life to this day, and they are my family. This is common for third culture kids, making deep and connected relationships with others who you seemingly have nothing in common with, except for the fact that you both don't come from where you live. This is beneficial to third culture kids, because as they grow up, they are able to easily make connections with others, as well as being able to maintain relationships, even if they are not in the same country, let alone continent. I then moved to Zimbabwe when I was 5, and for the first couple of years, it was the same as Norway. My parents made strong friendships, and from that, I felt like I had a new family. However, this is the difficulty of being a third culture kid. People move a lot more frequently, and you lose relationships with many people. This happened to me not only with my friends, but with my new family as well. I felt like I kept losing people, and it made it harder to get emotionally attached, because I was scared that they would leave me, same as the others. I did not have that tight-knit family as I did in Norway. There were a couple of people that I felt as they were my family, but others I didn't even bother trying to get to know. They would just leave me. At that time, I felt as though I needed people who I knew wouldn't leave me, and so far that was only my parents, up until 5th grade, when my dad left and moved to a different city to start a business. Half of my support system disappeared, and I was crushed. My parents swore that they would remain together, and that my dad would visit every weekend. However, it wasn't true. My parents separated when I was in 6th grade, and my dad came less and less. Having your family near when your parents have separated is important for the child's well-being. Wanda M. Williams-Owen, the Graduate Center, City University of New York, studied how children of divorce tend to blame themselves and how important it is to have family members to support them. I didn't have any family members during this time, and for a while I felt like I had no one to talk to, or even just someone who knew how I felt. I moved to Mongolia in 2019, and once again I felt as though I had no support system, no resemblance of family. But this time it was different. I was a lot older, and with years of being left by people I was close with, I no longer felt the need, nor did I, make the bonds like I did in Norway. My mom was alone, without my dad, and while she did make close contacts, I was at the age where I would rather hang out with my friends than hers. So I no longer had the support system I did when I was younger. I felt isolated and had trouble opening up to even my closest friends about what I was going through. But I managed to change this. I began weekly calls with my grandparents, sent photos and videos of my life to my dad, texted my cousin on Instagram, and began emailing one of my parents' friends from Norway, whom I consider my uncle. While COVID-19 may have affected the world in a way where it will never go back to the way it was, it also opened the world to a new way of communication that wasn't utilized as much as before. All of the new communication I now had with my family that I didn't have in Zimbabwe helped me feel connected with my family. My grandparents now tell me stories about them that I previously didn't know. They listen to me rant about classes and help me if I'm struggling. So if any third culture kids or anyone who lives away from home is struggling with connections or having someone to be close with, reach out to your family. Set up weekly Zoom calls, and through this, you can strengthen your family bond and slowly regain the benefits of having a close family and the family love and connection that was previously lacking. Thank you.